You have been cheated on, and your brain immediately kicks in. Where did I go wrong? And this is where things get fascinating. When the brain faces unexpected social threats like betrayal, it switches into explorer mode. On one hand, it feels the pain. On the other, it searches for meaning. The amygdala, the brain's fear and threat center, raises the alarm. The prefrontal cortex starts calculating. What did I do wrong? Why did this happen? And the anterior cingulate cortex processes social pain similarly to physical pain. In short, your heart breaks while your brain traps you in a Sherlock Holmes-like loop of self-investigation. Neuroscience research shows that this is a completely natural process. This process is especially intense in women because their attachment systems are more active. Bowlby's attachment theory and Aron's self-expansion model show that when a secure relationship faces betrayal, individuals first examine their own actions. The brain is trying to answer, next time, how can I avoid experiencing this pain question? This questioning often becomes automatic thoughts like, was I lacking or could I have done better? Neurologically, these reflections are intensified by the default mode network, which scans past experiences, generates potential scenarios, and push you into to continuously reflect on your mistakes. Especially your brain stimulates past and possible future events to ask, is the control in my hands? This mechanism normally supports survival, but in law, it can create unnecessary mental drama. Neurochemical systems are also involved. Dopamine and serotonin fluctuate briefly during betrayal. Reduced dopamine lowers pleasure and motivation, while serotonin trigger obsessive thoughts. That's why the where did I go wrong loop makes your brain feel emotional pain while also fixating on the question. From a cognitive psychology perspective, this is reinforced by cognitive distortion. Automatic thoughts like, I wasn't good enough or I should have been more careful circulate between the prefrontal cortex and limbic system. Social comparison theory also plays a role. People evaluate themselves by comparing with others. Betrayal activates this mechanism, prompting excessive self-scrutiny. In summary, when cheated on, your brain does three main things simultaneously. 1. Feel emotional pain. Anterior cingulate cortex, amygdala, and limbic system are engaged. 2. Search for meaning and cause-effect patterns. Prefrontal cortex examines past events and possible scenarios. And 3. Triggers obsessive loops. Dopamine, serotonin, and the default mode network repeatedly ask, where did I go wrong? The brain isn't blaming you actually. It's trying to understand yourself and the situation. But it does make you feel pain, and you end up writing your own Sherlock Holmes story. However, prolonged cycle of rumination causes not only mental fatigue, but also physical stress. Research shows that chronic social stress raises cortisol levels and impacts regions like the hippocampus, which are responsible for memory and learning. So your mind, brain, and body all experience the burden. Scientifically, there are ways to break this cycle. One effective method is reframing the why question. When you automatically ask, where did I go wrong? Consciously change it to, what does this person's choice teach me about their character and values? This small but powerful shift moves your focus from your perceived shortcomings to the other person's qualities or lack thereof. Your brain is still seeking meaning, but now in a way that empowers rather than harms you. Clinical research also shows that trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy and EMDR therapy are effective for managing post-betrayal trauma and obsessive thinking. Cognitive behavioral therapy structures thought and behavior patterns, while EMDR helps the brain process traumatic memories, reducing emotional pain and obsessive rumination. Metacognitive awareness and mindfulness techniques also help. Studies show these reduce default mode network activity and break obsessive thought cycle. Observing thoughts without judgment and saying, this is just a thought, allows the brain to escape repetitive mental scenarios. Social support and sharing your experience with a trusted psychologist also reduce anterior cingulate cortex and amygdala activation. Processing emotional burdens in a safe environment decreases obsessive loops and breaks the tendency to self-blame. If you find it hard to break this mental loop, you don't have to do it alone. Post-betrayal stress, trust issue, and obsessive thoughts can all be addressed therapeutically. Reach out to us. We are here. Together, we can make sense of this process and help your brain find calm again. Finally, we have a request. Share your experience in the comments. What was hardest for you? The event itself, or the mental chaos created by your brain constantly asking why and how? Sharing your story can be a healing step for both you and others going through the same process. I wish you understanding, balance, and emotional resilience in your relationship. Stay with love and health.